We're always hearing about these incredible, mind-blowing AI models, right? But what's the machinery humming away behind the curtain that actually makes them work? Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain and go deep inside the AI data pipeline.
So let me ask you this. What's the real secret sauce for building world-class AI? Is it some genius-level algorithm cooked up in a lab? Is it a supercomputer the size of a building? The answer, well, it might not be what you think.
You see, it's not just about the algorithm. It is all about the preparation. The best way to think about a brilliant AI model is to picture a gourmet meal. The final dish might be absolutely spectacular, but the real magic, that happens long before anything even hits the stove. It is all in the prep work.
And here it is. This is our recipe, our kitchen workflow for building a fantastic AI model. We're going to walk through this whole process from collecting the raw ingredients to cleaning, prepping, and labeling them. Then we'll get into how to store and serve up that data, and we'll finish with the absolutely crucial quality control checks. This is the foundation for any successful AI project.
So let's get started. Where does any great meal begin? You got it, with the ingredients. And that brings us right into Section 1, AI's most important ingredient.
The very first step is data collection, and it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You're gathering all the raw data you're going to need from a whole bunch of different places. Just like a chef heading to the market to find the freshest, most interesting ingredients, this is all about sourcing the fundamental building blocks for your model.
And where do we shop for this data? Oh, pretty much everywhere. As you can see, the sources are incredibly diverse. We're talking everything from nice, orderly databases to real-time sensor logs, public datasets, or even content from social media. The principle is the same as in cooking. The wider the variety of high-quality ingredients you have, the more robust and flavorful your final result is going to be.
Okay, so we've gathered all our ingredients. But, anyone who's ever cooked knows you don't just throw raw, unwashed vegetables into the pan. Real-world data is messy. It's complicated. Which brings us to Section 2, from raw to refined.
First up is data cleaning. Now, this is the unglamorous part, the grunt work, but it is absolutely vital. You can think of it as washing your vegetables, peeling them, and cutting out any bad spots. We are fixing all the errors and removing the noise so we can be sure we aren't feeding our model garbage.
So what kind of messes are we talking about here? Well, you've got your classic missing values, accidental duplicates, and my personal favorite, inconsistent formats, like having dates written in 10 different ways. You also have to deal with outliers and just plain wrong entries. Fixing all this stuff at the start is what ensures the quality of our entire dish.
Next up, after cleaning, is data pre-processing. So if cleaning was like washing the veggies, pre-processing is like chopping them all into a uniform size. We're taking that clean data and transforming it into a consistent, machine learning-ready format so that the algorithm can actually understand and use it efficiently.
This part involves all sorts of techniques like normalization, which basically gets all your numbers onto the same scale so one doesn't accidentally overpower another. Or for text, you might use tokenization. For images, it could be as simple as resizing them all to the same dimensions. The goal here is always consistency, so the AI doesn't get confused by differences that don't matter.
All right, our ingredients are now sparkling clean and perfectly prepped. But how does the AI, our chef, know what to make with them? It needs a recipe, and that's where Section 3 comes in, where we focus on teaching, storing, and moving our data.
This brings us to what might be one of the most important steps for a lot of AI systems, data labeling. This is literally how we teach the AI what to do. We are essentially writing the recipe for it, assigning the correct answer, the ground truth, to every single piece of data so the model knows exactly what it's supposed to be learning.
And this slide shows you exactly what that looks like. For an image model, it's about tagging a picture with cat or car. For a language model, it's classifying a customer review as positive or negative. For a bank's AI, it's identifying a transaction as either fraudulent or valid. The quality of these labels has a direct, massive impact on how accurate the final model will be.
So once it's prepped and labeled, all this valuable data needs a place to live. That's data storage. You have to think of it like a perfectly organized pantry. You need a system, could be cloud storage, could be a data lake, that lets you get to your data securely and efficiently, not just for the first time you train the model, but just as importantly, for retraining it later on. So, how do we get the data from our perfectly organized pantry to the actual prep station where the cooking happens? That, my friends, is data ingestion. It's the process of actually moving the data from where it's stored into the machine learning system where the model can finally get to work.
And there are basically two main ways to do this. You've got batch ingestion, which is like a big weekly grocery delivery. Data gets loaded in scheduled chunks. Then you have streaming ingestion, which is more like a constant conveyor belt, feeding data into the system in real time as soon as it's created. The choice between them really just depends on the problem you're trying to solve.
We are almost there. The kitchen is prepped, the ingredients are ready, but before we start cooking, we need one last critical quality check. Welcome to Section 4, the final quality control.
Here's a quick question for you. Why would you possibly need to track every single tiny change you make to your data? I mean, it's just data, right? What's the big deal?
Well, that's where data versioning comes in, and it's a huge deal. Think of it like a super detailed kitchen logbook. It tracks exactly which version of the data was used to create which version of the model. It's kind of like version control for software code, but for our most critical ingredient.
So, why does this matter so much? The benefits are massive. It gives us reproducibility, which means we can recreate the exact same model anytime. It gives us auditability, which is completely non-negotiable in fields like finance or healthcare. And maybe most importantly, it's a total lifesaver for debugging when something goes wrong.
And finally, we have data validation. This is the last line of defense. This is the sous chef standing there inspecting every single ingredient one last time before it goes into the pot. This step acts as a gatekeeper, making absolutely sure that no bad data ever reaches and corrupts our precious model.
Which really brings us to the core message of this whole process, and it's summed up perfectly by this quote: "Without consistent data operations, even the most advanced ML algorithm will fail. It truly doesn't matter how genius your algorithm is if you're feeding it inconsistent, poor quality data. Garbage in, garbage out."